You seem a little tired, Troy.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. Where am I? What day is it? What's going on?
Was that Baltimore Comic-Con a little too much for you? I see you got the VIP shirt rather than the black shirt.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was a VIP at the Baltimore Comic-Con, which was an amazing comic convention, and it was tons of fun. And you know what? The All-Star reception was also tons of fun. And I would just like to say to Walter Simonson, you are a party animal, dude. I didn't leave till you left.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he there till late?
He was there until at least 12:30. That guy can go.
Right on.
And then we had Saturday at the Baltimore Comic Convention. And there were panels and presentations, and a lot of shopping went on, and a lot of elbow rubbing and handshaking and card passing. And then it was time for the Harvey Award ceremony. And that went on, and that was amazing. And congratulations to all the winners of the 2014 Harvey Awards.
Who was your favorite winner?
Actually, I didn't have one specific favorite, but I did enjoy Gail Simone's keynote speech very much. Okay. I was happy to see the fifth Beatle rack up 2 Harveys. Bang, bang. Very well deserved. Very well deserved. The fifth Beatle, available in hardcover. But then it was after the Harvey Award dinner, when we all went back over to the Pisces Lounge at the Hyatt Hotel. And
I wish I'd have known that. Troy should have called me. I was like, what am I going to do now? I was across the street at that other thing that was like, oh, pay us $10 and you can eat the same stuff up on the 3rd level as you could for free elsewhere. So I was like, oh, we're just going to eat it at the bar. And I had some delightful fish and chips, and at the some sort of brewery directly across the street. What's that called?
Oh,
Pratt
yeah.
Street?
Pratt Street, yeah.
Pratt Street Brewery. Excellent.
Yeah, that place was also very good. I had a snack, and I had a couple of drinks with some friends over there. And then we had the Harvey Awards, where, I dressed up. You could see pictures of me in a suit. Yeah, I actually looked pretty good. I shaved, cleaned my face. Yeah, I was pretty good looking. And then we went to the Pisces Lounge.
Did you shower that cigarette stench off you?
I certainly did. Yeah. And so we went until they closed the lounge at 2:30.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to bed at...
It's probably for the best that I didn't even go, because I would have been there that late, too. I was having a good time. I was there with Comics Online's Emil Favela and Josh Powell, and we went around and checked some things out. Josh and I went and visited the one comic creator panel that I've been to that I wasn't moderating myself in the past, like, probably 3 years. Because I've been so busy doing other interviews and running around and stuff, was here on Saturday. I went and saw... I missed Gail Simone because I was completely scatterbrained and missed that one. And it must have been... She was in more than one, but, the one that I wanted was hers, was the one where, her name was spotlight on or whatever.
Yes.
But the one that I did see was... God, I can't remember anything. It doesn't matter.
Was it sexy or sexualized?
No, it was after that.
Okay. Was it the Walt Simonson
Nope.
spotlight? Was it the history of censorship in comics?
What's the guy, English guy? The preacher guy, what's his name?
Garth Ennis?
That's the guy.
Always wears a shirt?
Yeah, and he's got hair.
Yeah.
Some of it
Yeah.
left. He was very entertaining. I was like, wow, this is what people come to comic conventions to see. Comic creators talk about their craft, talk about their past, and talk about what they're working on now, and everything in between. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
Very much so.
And I'm going to have a little bit of a clip. Hey, you want us to see a little clip? Here's a little clip if you're looking at the Comics Online version of this right now. That was fantastic.
It was pretty awesome, pretty excellent.
Yeah, him talking about stuff.
So yeah, there were a lot of guys talking about stuff. So speaking of talking about stuff, are you ready to spotlight what's happening right now?
Yeah, what happened? What came out this week?
Well, to begin with,
the big thing is
Well,
that everybody's talking about.
Well, there are a couple of things, and you know what? I'll just go ahead and cut out of order. I actually had kind of a thing.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Okay, so last week we saw the #1 issue of The Death of Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Charles Soule and Steve McNiven give us The Death of Wolverine #2.
All right.
All right. Did you read #1 yet?
I haven't read. No. The answer is no. That's a quick answer.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys some of the interior, which is really amazing.
The Steve McNiven art. Now, I don't really know what the story is all about. You know, like I say, I've had my my ideas of what the whole reasoning behind it is. Besides, hey, let's do something that will sell a ton of books. But the Steve McNiven art is why I would buy this book. That's the reason for anybody to buy this, is because he is such a fantastic artist and storyteller with his art.
Charles Soule's work on The Death of Wolverine should not be underestimated or, undervalued.
I don't remember what he did before. What would I know him from?
Kevin.
My memory, obviously, there's been like 3 different things I haven't remembered so far in this.
Are you reading She-Hulk these days?
Is it written and drawn by John Byrne?
Then you are so behind.
I am behind.
This guy.
True enough.
So, we are in fact seeing, now in the first issue, Wolverine obviously did not die. This is a 4-part series and it is nowhere near over yet. We're at the halfway point only. But you are going to see some interesting Nuke, the character Nuke. You may remember him from Daredevil, Born Again. Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Nitro, with that whole... Because I was thinking it was
Civil
the same
War.
guy. It's not the same guy.
No, not the Captain Marvel enemy. This is Nuke, who also turned up in the pages of Captain America, among other places. He's been around for more than a minute. In any event, we're also going to see a little more Sabretooth. And that is as much as I'm going to tell you. But it's a great book. It is wonderfully written. It is beautifully illustrated. And this is going to be a big defining thing for a huge character for Marvel. I mean, for
Am I going to be sad at the end? I just feel like I'm going to be sad at the end. It's just going to be like one of those movies where, I wish I hadn't watched this because now I'm sad.
Well, you might have to be a little bit sad, but only a little bit.
Okay.
So, Death of Wolverine, issue #2. Issue #1 is still available. I still have them. I'm not out of it yet, but it is selling fast. You want to come get that.
Are the other Wolverines, X-23 and Dakin, are they still around? I mean, are they going to fill that void in my soul if I read this?
They are still around, but I have not seen them in the series as yet. So you're going to have to do some reading. You're going to have to get way caught up. You're going to have to start at 1989 and then just...
Wait, no, I'm not that far behind. I'm like 3 years behind, but I'm not that far behind.
Yeah.
Like, remember Fear Itself? That's where I fell off of life.
Yeah, I'm not completely certain that Kevin has read a Marvel comic since Atlantis Attacks.
Well, can you blame me? Atlantis Attacks is terrible. But there were.
I disagree.
There were great summer events since then.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which,
Follow the Mutants. That's summertime. Oh, we're in fall almost. Never mind.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've got my first one, and coming up on Comics Online, we're gonna have interviews with the cast of Constantine. Well, guess what? New 52 Constantine.
Futures End.
Futures
Lenticular
End.
3D.
Somebody like me, who's a New 52 naysayer, you know by now I'm a New 52 naysayer, but it's Constantine, and I gotta buy it because I am a ridiculous completist like that. And look at that, he's got a Dr. Fate looking helmet.
Dr. Fate looking helmet, yes.
Not necessarily. It's a little bit
this?
different than your standard Dr. Fate. It's got some designs on it. Is it the same helmet? Is it something else? I'm not sure, but I'm liking the idea. And
well,
it's a one shot, and so if I don't completely love it, then then I won't be too upset. But if I do completely love it, then Troy will say, yes, victory at last, and then he'll get me into reading a New 52 book, which he wants to do badly.
By the way, you can see Dr. Fate in the pages of Earth 2. the
All right.
New 52 series.
I liked Earth 2.
They introduced an incredible Dr. Fate in that series. They've also reimagined characters like Atom Smasher and Hawk Girl, Alan Scott the Green Lantern, and Jake Garrick the Flash. You should be checking out Earth 2. It's a great book.
All right.
There was actually an Earth 2 lenticular 3D spotlight last week.
I was going to jump in. I was going to make that a joke about Earth 2, that one season series from 1995-ish, 96.
Yeah,
I love that show. It was great.
Yeah, Kevin likes a lot of strange things.
Lex Luthor played in it. That is to say, the one of the many animated Lex Luthor voices. Never mind, doesn't matter. Anyway, hi. What do you got next, Troy?
Okay, so now getting back into order a little bit here. One of my favorite Marvel titles of all time has been for many, many, many years, Marvel's flagship title, the book that heralded the beginning of the Marvel Age of Comics.
The best age of comics.
Fantastic Four. Okay, now, the latest Fantastic Four, which is still written by James Robinson, brings us the Fantastic Four's nemesis, the Wizard, along with Salem's Most Sinister. It looks like a return of the Salem 7. First appeared in the Fantastic Four number 186, if I remember correctly.
That's a long time
art
ago.
by George Perez way back in the day. Got a little bit going on in here. Continuing the story of our favorite superhero family and the issues that our favorite superhero family have been facing with being locked out of the Baxter building, with having the children of Reed and Sue Richards put into protective custody, and the return of Sharon Ventura, formerly known as Ms. Marvel, sometimes known as the She-Thing, and it doesn't look good, the return of Sharon Ventura. It doesn't look like it's going to be a happy reunion, her and Ben Grimm. Yeah, don't ruin it for yourself.
I liked them. I was hoping she would come back and they would
Well,
just a little bit of brawling and then, let's have some
Let's hug
hugging
it out.
instead.
Let's hug it out.
Hug it out.
The story isn't over yet, but the Wizard has had an axe to grind with the Fantastic Four since the Strange Tales days, and has organized the Frightful Four, has actually organized several incarnations of the Frightful Four, and one of those incarnations he actually cheated and made it a Frightful Five. A Renegade Watcher was the fifth character, and the Renegade Watcher had Dragon Man working for him, so the odds were really against the FF. They prevailed. In any event, it looks like the Wizard is leading a new team now, and that new team is made up of the remnants of the Salem 7. That is as much as I could tell you, but you want to pick up the Fantastic Four, and you want to just dive right into this and just keep right on going. It's been incredible. The events of Original Sin, which I know you have not read yet, I won't spoil anything for you, but the events of Original Sin have cast a dark shadow over the relationship between Reed and Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, and that story has not resolved itself yet. So, Fantastic Four, number 10. You want to get that.
I looked at the last page, and now I want to read the next one, because it's going to be cool.
Well, you're going to have to wait 30 days, but you know what?
Yeah.
We can start putting Fantastic Four in your box.
Well, we need to slow down for a minute. I'm serious. I need to catch up. I've got like a brick in my drawer at work.
Now, whose fault is that?
Well, nobody but mine. I'm just telling you that that's the case. So my next one, my number 2 for this week, and these are in no particular order, of course. Mm-hmm. I really loved the Spider-Man video games, and one of them was the Spiderman Noir. That originally was only published in a quick little limited series. It was just a little four-issue limited series. And here we've got Spider-Man Noir coming back.
Edge of Spider-Verse.
Edge of Spider-Verse. And I like it. I like the idea.
Are you going to pick a page and show them the beautiful interior?
I'm looking for...
That's got some action. Yeah.
Here we go. It looks like Spider-Man Noir is starting to get some, biological webs, which he didn't have previously. So, spoilers, that happens halfway through the book. Who knows?
So, thank you for not ruining the beginning or the end.
Yeah. I'm just ruining the middle. and it can't be ruined. And this is going to be fun.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. The Edge of Spider-Verse is going to be exciting altogether. Take it all in its totality.
Yeah. So you never played Shattered Dimensions?
I did not. I knew of the game, but
Fantastic Spider-Man game. My favorite of all time, and it's got all the best voices. It's got Josh Keaton from Spectacular Spider-Man and many other things. It's got Neil Patrick Harris from the '90s Spider-Man. It's got Dan Gilvezan from the '80s from Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends, and they've got a fourth guy whose name I insultingly don't remember doing Spider-Man 2099. It's awesome. Play it. You just play it just for the voices, just for the gameplay is wonderful as well. Sorry. Okay, moving right along.
All right.
Your third one.
My third one, keeping it Marvel for the moment. I am all in for this Magneto series. Now, this is marching toward Axis, the next big event featuring the Avengers and the X-Men. This should be different from Avengers versus X-Men. Magneto has been an amazing series since it began, story by Colin Bunn, and it has taken Magneto and really... It's great for the new reader. I went through the first issue and I thought to myself, wow, if all you know of Magneto is the animated series, or maybe Cerelia McClellan's performance in the X-Men films, or Michael Fassbender's performance in X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, if that's all you know of Magneto...
Or Magneto from the 80s or 90s, and you're not caught up on the current comic book story.
The current comic story has taken all of the aliases and incarnations and walked you through Magneto's history and sort of taken you over and with an overview of how we got to where we are right now, and this is what's happening now, and let's continue the story. And the story's been continuing, and it's great. It's a dark, heavy, edgy Magneto. He has an agenda. He is not to be trifled with, and a little bit of a spoiler. Mutant growth hormone. I was giving them enough time to stop, pause, club their ears, whatever. So yeah, mutant growth hormone is involved. We know that Magneto's powers have been a bit wonky since the events of Avengers vs. X-Men. His brief possession of the Phoenix Force and then having the Phoenix Force taken from him. Thank you very much, Scott Summers. And so Magneto was looking for a way to get his powers back up to snuff, and MGH might be the vehicle that he uses. I'm thinking, wow, this series has just been so great. I mean, look at this. We're seeing Magneto in look at the concentration camp uniform. We're getting a little more of his back history here. We're seeing the evolution of this character.
And this is just a flashback. Much of it is in the present, correct?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But with Magneto, it is important to know where he came from, and he is in fact a concentration camp survivor. A quick side note in the flashback vein. Magneto was on the villain team, which featured in Acts of Vengeance back in the 1980s. Also on that team, which was organized by Loki, was the Red Skull. I don't know what Loki was thinking about, but hey, let's take the premier Nazi supervillain and this concentration camp survivor and put them on a team together and expect them to work well. Yeah, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, that was bound to fail.
That was, yeah. And this is why Loki can't beat the Avengers.
Yeah, they had a fantastic poster, though. I still have that huge poster with all the weapons all shattered.
Yes.
Good stuff. So speaking of Colin Bunn, at Baltimore Comic Con, and really any Comic Con that we tend to go to, we're going to go and interview creators and stars. At Baltimore Comic Con, we interviewed a couple of people, but you know who I just had a conversation with today? Colin Bunn.
Really?
We're going to have a conversation with Colin Bunn, and I hope you'll join us. This is most likely going to be audio only, but I hope you'll join me and Troy and perhaps a couple others speaking with Colin Bunn about everything that he's got going on. And he's got a lot. That man is busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty incredible. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
What's your number 3 pick?
My number 3 pick, we're going to go on over, we've done DC and Marvel. We're going to go on over to Image for one of my very favorite books, Invincible.
You mean Robert Kirkman's Invincible?
Robert Kirkman's Invincible.
Why, the only superhero comic you will ever need.
That's the only one you'll ever need. And it's got
look at this thing,
It's got
Kev.
Robot on the cover, all beat up. who knows what's going on in this? Let's go towards the beginning because we don't want to spoil too much.
No, we don't.
But still the same beautiful art by Ryan Ottley that we have come to expect from this comic, and I'm a couple of issues. I mix those up.
Kevin has issues.
I do, a ton of them. But I'm a couple behind. But Invincible is fantastic. It's amazing. It's 114 issues of joy. And if you are behind, if you have not checked it out, this man, Troy David Phillips, can help you out and get you started on those initial trades because they are very available.
Yes.
And right here is the best place to get them.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know what else I think?
What else do you think?
While we're talking Image, I'm going to take us into Image's Imperial #2. Okay, Stephen T. Siegel and Mark Dos Santos and Thomas Maurer and Brad Simpson bringing us the second installment of this story of a perfectly ordinary guy who's been chosen by the sole superhero on Earth to receive the legacy, receive the powers. But before that could happen, something bad happened to that superhero. And just take a quick look on the interior here. Look at what you're getting. This has been a great story. #1 issues are still available, Kevin. And #2 issues out this week, Wednesday.
Well, as soon as the Imperial or whomever comes and gives me powers, then I will make more money and buy all of the comics.
You know what you could do is
get a second job.
You could. You could.
I knew you were going to say that. All right. So my next one, staying in the Image family.
Okay.
Back in the day, Comics Online used to belong to a comic store. That's the ComicsOnline.com. That's where I got the domain from. My local comic book store in San Diego, California, was Comic City, and it's long since dissolved. But one of our customers was Jay Faerber.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Fantastic guy. Did a wonderful little series called Noble Causes. See, I'm remembering
Noble
things.
Causes.
Noble.
Oh my goodness.
Do you remember Noble Causes?
I do. I do.
It was lovely, and I saw this #1 issue of Copperhead. Like the art on the cover, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna have to check this out because Jay is a fun guy. I'm not familiar with this artist, but I'm liking it. Godlewski.
I was looking at that. I was looking at the cover, and for a second, it harkened me back to, Delgado. Remember that old series?
All right.
Fantagraphics?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read it, but I remember the covers, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then I took a closer look, and it was like, wow, if you took that and gave it a little Alien Legion. And,
Alien Legion was where I was thinking.
Yeah. Another fantastic sci-fi book. This looks like... I'm just guessing, just to look at the inside, that this guy is probably drawing some inspiration and liking the same kinds of sci-fi stuff that I like in comics. So I feel like I'm just going to like this book.
I feel
just judging by the cover.
Yeah, well, I mean, and look at this. This looks like sci-fi cowboyish, and not on the level of like Serenity.
Serenity, Firefly. We have
Firefly,
aliens,
but more like this looks like Tatooine.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, doesn't it?
It does.
So
it really does.
I'm into it.
Copperhead #1. We want that.
Yeah.
Which is to say, I want one. You want one. I'm pretty positive you want one.
I'm putting that one in the box, and maybe Troy will let me buy a few today.
Yeah,
he might.
I might.
I might have to check my accounts.
Yeah.
So what's your next one?
Well, I love Dark Horse comics. Ever since 1986, I love Dark Horse.
Before that?
Before that, there wasn't a Dark Horse.
Really?
Really, there were no Dark Horses before 1986.
All right.
However, Dark Horse has held for some time the license to Aliens. And they've done really awesome things with Aliens. They've had some wonderful talent on that book, and they have had some masterful stories, and they gave us the first Aliens Predator crossover, and they just kept the goodness coming. Well, in the wake of the film Prometheus, we now have Prometheus, Fire and Stone, issue #1 of 4 from Dark Horse Comics.
Show them that back cover, just because.
I can't. No. It gives too much away. For people who are all into the Prometheus story as a precursor to the story of Alien and Aliens, this is, I'm not going to spoil it for you, I'm not going to ruin it, I won't do that to you, but this is definitely a comic that you want to pick up, and when you get to the end, you'll be like, oh my goodness, you'll probably use profanity. You'll be so astounded. I would have used profanity, but I think we have children listening, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm being very, very careful to keep this book turned back cover down, but Prometheus, as I've just thumbed through it, I have not actually seen the film Prometheus. I've been meaning to, and I just keep letting the opportunity slip by me. But what I've been able to pick up, I am understanding the basis of the story. I know the least I need to know.
We can't even talk about it. If we're not swearing on this, we can't even talk about that movie, because just talking about it is R-rated.
So, yes, Prometheus, Fire and Stone. Come get that. You don't have to go far to get it. It's right here.
It is.
It is.
So my next one. Speaking of swearing.
And Dark Horse.
I've got my final one for this week is Dark Horse. And for those of us Whedon files, these Buffy lovers, those people who like Serenity, Buffy, Angel, everything Joss Whedon. Wouldn't you just really just think about all of your favorite characters? In fact, why don't you just think about at least 2 of your favorite characters, and then tell me, wouldn't you like...
Wow.
The Whedon Three Way.
The Whedon Three Way. Look at that. So,
$1. It's $1.
And
you get the first issues of a Serenity series, Buffy series, and Angel and Faith.
Yeah.
And these are now. By the way, this is the first page of new Buffy season 10, and this is straight out of the events of Buffy season 9. Of course, the actual television series ended with the end of season 7. Season 8, Dark Horse began, went through several, maybe 20-ish, 20-some, 30-some.
Seems like, yeah.
Issues. Then they decided, okay, that's the end of that arc. We're going to go and make another season. And they did season 9. Now season 10 has just begun, and here's a way to start on it. And that's the case with Angel and Faith. Angel and Faith have a bit of an adventure together, and we've got the first issue of that as well. And then also there is a new Serenity. It's ongoing, right? Or is it a series of?
No, I believe it's a series of shorts. A series of miniseries.
Series of miniseries. Anyway, this is the latest of those, and you can't stop the signal. And why would you for $1? It's $1. Come in here. Troy will give it to you for $1, maybe even less if you give him hugs. He's really, that's how to get that's a secret. Don't share that with anybody who hasn't watched this, but hugs. That's how you get the discount. Probably 99 cents. They'd be like, whatever, that's fine.
So, wow, yeah, those were some pretty good choices there, Kev.
And subscribers get even cheaper. Troy, tell them about subscribers.
Well, at Flashback Comics, we offer our regular subscription customers a 25% discount. That 25% discount applies to the books that you sign up to, and it applies to new books that you want to try off the wall. You see something, the cover grabs you, you're like, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. Maybe I'll want it on an ongoing basis, maybe I won't. But you'll get 25% off on it in any event.
Does it apply to anything else in the store, such as back issues or other merchandise?
It does not apply to back issues, and other merchandise like toys, statues, action figures is subject to what the discount available to the shop itself is.
So there might be a tiny bit.
There might be some difference there, but I'll tell you what it does apply to. That 25% discount, you're going to edit that out, does apply to supplies like bags, boards, boxes, dividers, mylars, those things that you need to protect and organize your comics. It also applies to trade paperbacks and hardcovers and graphic novels. So if you decided, hey, I've heard all about the Harvey Award-winning and Eisner Award-winning series Saga, I'd like to try that. Volume 1 of Saga, you subscribers will get that at 25% off the cover price. If you decided that I'm all in for The Walking Dead, the series is amazing, I'd like to begin the trades with Volume 1, please. Well, certainly, you will get that trade paperback at 25% off. And so it goes. Star Wars, Superman, any of the New 52 stuff from DC, any of the Marvel Now stuff from Marvel, Walking Dead stuff from Image, any of the Image trade paperbacks. Vertigo stuff, and original graphic novels like Thanos Revelation, for example.
Oh my gosh, I need to read that.
I do
Don't get
too.
started.
I need to read it myself.
Oh, really?
I am way backed up. But original graphic novels such as Thanos Revelation, that's also 25% off. So not just the reprints, but the new stuff too. Jeff Johns' Batman, Earth 1. J. Michael Straczynski's Superman, Earth 1. Yeah, that's included, 25% off. So, come in and ask me about the subscription service and take a look around at the walls and see what there is to see, and we'll get you signed up and taken care of.
Here's a question that I would ask you as a brand new customer, and I think I did ask you this when I was a brand new customer of yours. How many books would I need to subscribe to in order to per month in order to get that 25% off?
Well, we ask people to carry a minimum of 5 titles.
Well, that's nothing.
Yeah, 5 titles, and you can certainly add more on. You're reading a book, and maybe that book ends, and you decide you want to pick something else up once your miniseries has ended. And I'll happily work with you on that. Just let me know. Regular subscribers can certainly call the store. They can shoot me emails. I make my email available to our subs. Come by the store, pick up one of my cards, and talk to me. And I will make this happen for you.
Excellent. Definitely worthwhile. Anybody who was in the Northern Virginia area should come by Flashback at least once. Once you've met Troy David Phillips in person, you will be addicted to his lovely personality, which is even better in person.
Yes, indeed. Are you mainlining me again, Kev?
No, I'm just saying. I came in here and I'm like, and I when I first came to town, I visited a few of the local comic stores. And really, honestly, I thought, oh well, this is the sort of comic store that you can come in and shoot the breeze with the manager, and he's going to be the most knowledgeable guy in town, possibly that you know about practically every comic coming out.
Unless you know Roy Thomas, he knows more than I do.
Practically is what I threw the qualifier in there, but seriously, it's a lovely environment, and beyond Troy, there are a bunch of other wonderful folks who work here as well. And I know you guys always just see this back wall. We have a big they have a big comic book store as well, and look, we're panning. We're panning around the store, and it's fantastic. And then beyond this store, in the same, the
same development.
Same development, in the same shopping area, right behind this store, there is another store that sells games as well as coins.
Yes, indeed. Flashback Comics and Games, where you can find supplies for your games, card games.
There's a lot.
Role-playing games, collectible miniatures, tabletop games like Warhammer and Warhammer 40K.
And you can come in and play.
The X-Wing battles for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the ones that are like almost paper dolls.
These things are much, much better.
What was is that not the X-Wing where they're like they're little plastic things and they cut them out and you put them together and they're on little bases? What was that game? What was that game called?
That was also one of the Star Wars, but you were so
I like that one. That was a while. That was Whiz Kids made that.
Yeah, you know what, folks? Come to Flashback Comics and help Kevin get caught up into the 21st century.
I need it.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
So
I
think we're ready to go read some comics.
Let's go get some food, read some comics, and edit some videos, because that's what we do here.
Yes, indeed. Flashback Comics, people. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And please do so as well with ComicsOnline.com. We are everything geek pop culture.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.